Hello everyone. In today's episode, I'm joined with Jack, and me and Jack went to school together and a little bit in college, and then I suppose we went our separate ways due to afterlife after college and stuff. So well, thank you, Jack, for coming on the podcast today.
Yeah, you're more than welcome.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to be here. And I guess I am going to introduce myself for the majority that have no goddamn clue who I am.
Yeah.
My name is Jack Minton, and I'm a neurodiverse actor who now is in Hertfordshire. And I'm also autistic, of course, because I said I was neurodiverse.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to discuss with Mason is that I'm going to discuss struggles with mental health. We're going to talk about autism. We're going to talk about my acting experience. We're going to talk about getting over the mental struggles to get to your goals in life. We're going to talk about it all, so stay goddamn tuned. And yeah, come on, yeah, just stay tuned.
Yes.
So
yeah,
and that's what I got to say.
Yeah, that's a very good introduction, Jack. So thank you for that. Just to start off with, let's go from leaving college, and of course going into acting. Like how does this start? Because I know in college when I was there, you was doing catering. So and they didn't do I don't think they did drama at the college. I know they did in school. But there was catering. So you went off to. Tell me what happens after you left college.
Right. Well, after college, I mean, they barely did any other courses, to be honest. But after, I was just doing catering in college, and then I had to leave abruptly because my family was made homeless, and we had to relocate to Hertfordshire. And about a year and a half kind of passes, COVID's passed, and we're in the third lockdown. And how the acting started was that my sister noticed a Facebook post, which was a casting call. If you don't know what that means, it's basically somebody called a casting director. They it's like they put this sort of audition on the internet, and they want these sorts of people to audition for it, and these amount of people are welcome, So she tags me in it, and I'm like, why not give it a go? And a few emails. I auditioned for the lead part. I didn't get it, and I thought that was that. And then 3 months later, I got an email saying, we want to email you. Well, obviously they were mainly me, but they told me that they wanted me to have another part, or they wanted me to audition for another part. Can you come in all the way in central London tomorrow so you can audition? And then 8 days later, because I was lazy, I went all the way to central London. I did the audition thinking, oh, I'm never going to get it. I'm never going to get it. All those self-doubting worries. And then 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, it was, I'm going to diverge a bit from the acting thing, just for a little bit. I think that I will be honest, it was a bit of a struggle to get there because from my personal experience, because I'm autistic, and this was also the first time I ever went on an underground independently. It's the first time I went to central London independently. And I was like, why not give it a go? And then 8 days later, they said, you start next Friday. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they said, you start next Friday. And 3 days later, they sa obviously, because if anybody's been in an underground, you know that a train underground makes a lot of noise. So yeah, I think that for me was a struggle. It was a new experience, but at the same time, I learned how to cope with it in the moment. And then because I was able to cope with it, so I was able to get this opportunity. And then, yeah, the rest is sort of history, really. And the film, even though I'm not allowed to talk about the story, I will say the name of it. The film is called I Used to Be Famous, and it is going to be on Netflix in about somewhere late summer, early autumn of this year.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for everyone to see it. Please update your Netflix subscription so you can see me. So yeah, that's what my sort of introduction, my long-winded introduction.
Yeah. I think the film, even though like you can't say anything about it, the name like I Used to Be Famous looks like pretty good. Like especially even going on Netflix. Yeah, like it would be cool probably to yourself to watch it back when it actually gets out.
Yeah, I'll probably pick on my appearance or something and say how far I was. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I think it was, and the best thing about it is the fact that it's going to be cemented forever on a streaming service where a lot of people are going to see you, which is really cool and yet quite scary at the same time.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I can more than deal with that because I love the idea of that, of something being cemented and being for everyone that can watch it, and I think that's wonderful, personally.
Yeah. Like with like your experience, I know about getting there was like I think like you said your first time at like going there by yourself, especially underground, which is pretty hectic itself. I know the noise as well. For me, when I go underground, I don't like people being too close to me. So even before the pandemic, it's just in general, I don't like close contact people. So I can understand like because the noise is it's not nice noise. And depends on how long you're on there as well. Even if like you maybe think about wearing headphones, but you want to see where they're stopping. So it's quite hard to do that. But yeah, how was the actual experience in itself of like acting for the film?
Yeah, to be honest, it's going to sound cliche, but basically it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. Working on set was wonderful. The people I worked with were absolutely fabulous. I actually felt like I belonged there, and I haven't felt that way since probably the second year of college. You know, it was when I first when I said before, when they called me up and say you start next Friday, yeah, I had to go to this building where all the where the what do you call it? You have to go through a script read through, which is normal for these things, and yeah, that's when I met everyone for the first time, and luckily I was given somebody which is called a creative enabler, which basically means if you ever heard of a learning support assistant in a school, it's basically the same thing, but for an actor. And she was absolutely wonderful. And I only had one acting session with her, and because of that one hour acting session, I got compliments all around, and the director even said he couldn't believe it was my first time acting. It was absolutely wonderful, and although I think I only did 5 days of actual work. I wasn't there for the entire production, but for the scenes that I was in, it was just absolutely amazing. And there were people, as Mason knows, there were people from that also worked with on the Walking Dead, and some were from Deadpool and Harry Potter. So it was absolutely brilliant, in my opinion. Absolutely 100% do it again. I'd do it for no money at all.
Yeah, it's good when you have something that you probably get paid for that you like to do.
Right.
Because it all goes with like you get these things at college and school, which, as we both know, KOM was probably pointless.
Oh yeah.
I suppose it was nice to do in just practicing and stuff. But I remember one time, Jack. I don't know if you was there, but one time for, I think it was Crohn's Awareness Week. It was the chef weren't in, and beforehand I asked him, can I bake some cakes and sell them for Crohn's and Clovis Awareness Week, and he said no. And then he's ill, I feel. Then I get I think some of the helpers in to help me cook them, and then we just spent probably the whole day in there. Teachers were nice to let me go at lessons, I think. And then I spent that day doing that. But yeah, that's probably the highlight of catering for me. But the rest wasn't great.
Yeah, well, no, because oh god. Yeah, oh my word, that was just shocking at times, absolutely shocking. I don't even know what to say. It was bad. It was bad. I think I wasn't that, I might have been in for that. Did you call me for helping you at that time?
I'm not sure. It was. You might have been actually.
Yeah.
I was happy when I left, because at that time, I did enjoy the time I was there, but I also wanted to leave because I decided to leave myself, because I knew everyone that was there. Although it's nice to see, most of them went from the school to the college. If people don't know, like the school me and Jack went had a college as well, so that they were kind of linked in a way. So most of the people from year 11 did go into the college, so not many. There were some new people, but not many. So that was one of the reasons, because I thought the next year that there might have been some new people. There wasn't really. So
right.
I decided to go, and then I did meet some new people, which was great. And I feel like if I didn't do that, or didn't go out my comfort zone, that wouldn't have been the case. Which you have to do. Like, I would can imagine it must have been uncomfortable for you at times when you were on set, with meeting new people and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it was probably because for me it was like going from the usual experience, which was the college, which basically really wasn't a college. It was like sorry, it wasn't. It was like an extra school for another 2 years. It was like
yeah.
Except it's like half the classes are not as interesting. Same people, half the same teachers, but anyway, but obviously on the first day it was a bit like wibbly wobbly through the script read through, but they were just brilliant. And obviously I think they knew that I was autistic, because also there was other special needs people on set, and there was also one thing. There's like I get into this heated scene with this character. That's one of my big scenes, and one of the people got quite scared when I shouted, and he was autistic. But he had helpers with him, and he was calmed down. And yeah, we became friends in the end. And he actually ended up. He also was the director's cousin, I believe. So that's awesome. But yeah, sorry, what was it? Sorry, I went off track a bit.
No, okay, carry on. It's nice to hear. But yeah, like you, it's nice to hear that you work with all these great people. Like you said, an actor from Deadpool, from Walking Dead, who was also in a scene in Doctor Who. You also had, you said Harry Potter. So you had all these great actors that like, I suppose that doesn't your career when you're an actor. I suppose once you get one, I suppose you get more as life goes on, because you might get more noticed. And this film, that especially if it's on Netflix, Jack, like you got all these people that you can rate it, I think, now on Netflix. Like you can give it a like or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
thumbs
yeah.
up, thumbs down.
Yeah, thumbs up, thumb down. I think a bit like YouTube in a way, because they have thumbs up and thumbs down. But
well, they're getting rid of the thumbs down actually.
Okay. Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know why.
Yeah. But yeah, like what was like with the script, because was it quite a lot of lines that you had to learn?
I didn't have to learn a lot of lines, to be honest, but it probably felt a bit big for me because the script was huge and just it was fatter than I was in year 11. It was huge, a stack of papers. But yeah, I had only about 6 lines, and I don't know if I'll even have 6 lines of film because obviously I have to go through so much editing. But yeah, I had 6 lines. I had 3 scenes, and I was on the set 5 days. But I consider it a great experience still. So yeah, it wasn't as bad. If I got the lead role, oh my god, page highlighter, pink highlighter, orange highlighter. Yeah, but yeah, that's what I had at least.
Yeah, it's like it's easier when you watch, isn't it? Like if you watch something on telly, like for example, Doctor Who, like the Doctor, whoever's the Doctor, they make it look so easy, but underneath everything, they have all these lines that they've got to say. They're saying most of it, like the lead role, and it takes time to practice this stuff. And how, like, I think the confidence is a big thing in acting as well, because if you're confident about, I know this line, I know what to say, and then it comes to the point where, like, a bit, which in year 11, which was not practicing without having the script, but yeah, I think the more you practice, the more you'll get better.
Yeah, absolutely. You do need to practice. That's actually something that, believe it or not, I do. I struggle with for some silly reason. Because I've got 2 auditions this week and I still haven't learned the lines. But yeah, I would say to anyone, you know, put down the phone when you actually have spare time. I would say do it very gradually. If you're a big procrastinator, just read 1 line at a time, and eventually, you read the lines, you learn your lines, and then once you do that, you've got to figure out how are you going to say them, how are you going to perform them. And in which case, what I do, and what most actors do, professional ones at least, what they do is they write notes about the character and their situation and stuff like that. So that's what I also do to help me, because it helps me to sort of get how to say something instead of saying something monotone. But yeah, that's just my personal way of doing things.
Yeah. Because I remember doing acting myself in year 11, when you would have left, I think. Yeah, I
was gone.
Yeah, you was gone. So you wouldn't have seen my acting. But
what you call well, you say that, but you wouldn't have want to saw that dance scene that I did for the GCSE thing that I did, honestly.
Yeah, I played a Monorail character. So I was about 3 or 4 people. I was for 3 or 4 people. I was, and like I suppose when you play a Monorail character, it's as hard as playing the main role, maybe because you've got to get into character of different people.
Right.
And like yeah, it was quite fun for me. But I got diagnosed that year when I was in year 11, so I missed stuff. And people, well, the people who were doing it with me, because it was limited people because of the drama exam changed back then. And I don't know if they do it now, but I wouldn't have thought they would unless they've changed it back. But from there, I missed about a few weeks, but that was when the practicing for it and that, and I did enjoy doing it. The lines, and I was going to be the main character, but the like drama teacher said that feels like I'm better of a Monorail character, which I was happy with. Like if I'm still doing stuff, I like quite a lot of it. I remember once I did do a dancing scene as well. I couldn't dance. I need help. I got practice. I didn't mind I was being laughed at, but it was like I can't dance. I had to dance in a certain way as well, and
right.
That was yeah.
Well, funny enough, the art teacher, I think, was it Arthur, your teacher for drama, literally the day before the GCSE performance, she choreographed like a dance scene as well. I had to dance with a top hat and a cane. And then what I ended up doing for the drama thing, I ended up kicking. Have you ever seen a Karate Kid where the original Karate Kid where he kicks his opponent in the face? So I basically ended up doing that all across the stage in front of the headmaster. It was absolutely hilarious. And then what was worse is that the drama teacher's son was also there. So it basically looked like. So imagine a kid that was twice my age trying to be the Karate Kid, and it just ended up looking like a hot air balloon trying to do karate. It was brilliant. But they loved it, so I'm glad that they loved it, and that's what I decided to do. I have no regrets.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, like the drama, and I kind of haven't. Well, I do videos, but that's about it. I don't go into drama or anything, but it's something I would be interested in. But I think I would be pretty good. But thinking I should be cast as a doctor, but there we go.
Go on. I would like to see you do that 10 years from the future.
Yeah, like it would be nice. I think like many people to start their careers off going. I remember it would have been about probably 15 years ago with Waterloo Road, and that's coming back now. A series where quite a lot of like actors that were young and probably their first ever thing they've done in acting as a series, and now some of them are coming back, but at that time you had actors that aren't well known and are more well known now.
Yeah, that's a possibility with me. I suppose. I hope so. I hope it is that I become more well known after this comes out.
Yeah,
that is. It just all depends on how good of a job that you do, so it gets noticed, I think. And I'm 100% one of those people that like to play it for the fans, even though I don't have any. But
I'm
that's
sure.
Basically what I've got.
I'm sure you will, Jack. Like you're this it will be noticeable because you have all these other actors as well on there. that have been on all these shows, and that having them on there as well will make it more popular, I reckon.
Yeah.
And then like you just said, like you have, didn't you say you have like 2 new like acting things coming up this week?
I have 2 auditions. I have an audition for an LGBTQ plus short film, and I have an audition for a basically almost like a apocalyptic sort of post-world short film as well. And yeah, let's see. I'm just gonna see how it goes, and if I get them, I get them. If I don't, I don't. So life goes on.
Yeah. I suppose it depends what they think, and like if they try you, if you try your best, you can't do anything else. So
right.
It's depending what role you want to do. Yeah, I think I saw like you shared something about like a film that you're doing, and yeah, I saw it but I think that at the bottom they said they need 2 older people, a younger person, or something like that. I saw.
Yeah. That was that was for the short film thing. Yeah, that was 2 separate stuff. Because I didn't get a message back, unfortunately. It's all right. So yeah, I didn't get those, but I've now got the opportunity to do these 2 films, which is really cool. Well, not to get them, but to do an audition for them, because I got an audition for one of them on Saturday as well, which is pretty cool. And I'm also want to say that these are also student collaborations. So not also am I doing the acting, I'm also helping students from like university also get their projects underway. And when you're filling a character, it's like when you're doing an audition for a character, whether it's a huge part in a BBC TV show or it's the smallest part in a student film, what they're looking for is that they're looking for a piece of the puzzle to fit their problem or their situation. So, which basically means that they've got this empty role that needs to be filled in, or this position that they need, and then you basically you try to help them by auditioning. That's how I see it, and that's how I don't get nervous anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I always used to get nervous as well. Like just with acting, I didn't. I remember early on, I didn't want to do it, and then I thought, hang on a minute, I'll do it. Let's have a go. Then try, and then got better. But yeah, like I suppose it's really cool when you take a role that's not yourself, like as well, like into something that people who watch you, for example, won't feel like that's you, like acting that, like it's some other person doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is. It isn't, but it is at the same time. But yeah, I just see it as I'm this other person. That's kind of how I want to see it, so it can help me actually do the best job I can.
Because it's good fun that like you enjoy it, Jack. What was like your like when you talk about your mental health, like when doing like this like how's your mental health, do you think?
Back then it was right literally before the audition. I was struggling with obsessive compulsive disorder quite severely. And if you don't know what OCD is, it's a mental health condition that bases itself around certain compulsive rituals and stuff like that, which temporarily give the illusion that it's going to calm the anxiety down and get rid of the worry, when in actual fact it just makes it worse because you're giving in. That's kind of my version of it, at least that's how I suffer from it. And yeah, at that time, I was, I mean, I had been in a lot worse before, way worse, but at that particular point, just before I went to the audition and I knew that I was going to audition, the OCD was to the point where I was basically almost not functioning very well at all. In fact, I'm still suffering from it currently, still quite badly, to be completely honest. But so that's, I think that part guided me. So I went on all through the hassle to go on public transport to get to the audition, which from where I'm living, it's like 3 trains. But and the reason why I think it guided me, because I had the OCD, I thought to myself, I've already got nothing to lose here. What am I waiting for? So I went there. I went and just did the audition. I had so many worries and a lot of self-doubt. So I thought I'd never get it. I never get the part. But I just carried myself in. I was an hour early, which was fun. But yeah, I just carried myself in there, so to speak. It was like if I had somebody completely different sort of take over me, and I was just myself, I suppose, and I did exactly what they asked. And I went out there feeling so accomplished. It was unreal, even though I didn't even have the part yet. I was just glad that I actually had an opportunity to get an audition. But going back to the topic of mental health, yeah, currently I still have OCD. I've had a history of insomnia, depression, suicidal thoughts, you name it. I've severe anxiety in other ways. And in school, it was just a complete nightmare all the way up, leading probably until the last few months before leaving. My OCD was incredibly bad, to the point where I was literally not studying for GCSEs because I literally couldn't function. So eventually, at that point, that particular compulsion that I had back then, eventually it's come back every now and then, but it faded just before, literally, I think just before the exam started to take away. And the kind of cure for my obsessive compulsive disorder really was letting go of the thoughts and the compulsions, and understanding that the new goal isn't to get rid of the thoughts by distracting yourself or getting rid of the thoughts by denying them in your brain, but watching the thoughts as they appear in your head. And or say for example that I'll give you an example if you don't mind. Like, say for which my head would say, if I don't touch this wall 3 times, somebody's going to get hit by a car. Okay, so the original plan in my head was to touch the wall 3 times because then nothing bad would happen. Then the new goal was to just watch what's going on in your head, and then you just make a conscious decision to watch what's going on in your head like a third person, but not actually do anything. And then what you realize is the more you do that, the more likely that it's going away, compared to you actively trying to resist it all the time. Because if I, like, for example, if I told someone to stop thinking about pink elephants, the first thing they're going to think about is pink elephants. So me trying to resist a thought is only going to make it more powerful. And I'm not taking it away from anyone. And there's also other types of OCD. It's just that I don't particularly have personal experience with others. Mine's usually up here in the sense that it's called pure OCD, which means that there isn't a specific physical compulsion. It's mostly thoughts in my head at the moment. But yeah, that's kind of what it was like growing up. That's what it was like going through it during the most pivotal stage of school, and what it's basically like now. But yeah, and that's basically what I've got to say about that at the moment. Yeah. So that's how it's been.
Yeah. So, well, I can understand the like what it. Well, I can understand my mental health, anxiety as well, because I get that, and sometimes I do OCD myself. Like touching a few times. With OCD, you have to be sometimes a particular number for some people.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Like you say, like I might in your head says touch the switch 3 times. So it's gonna happen. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I used to be really bad when I was younger. I used to worry about quite a lot of things. And as life's gone on, I've got better. Like I still do the odd things. Like I will maybe look down the city. I used to do that quite a lot. I don't as much now, but there's just these little things that other people won't notice that you do.
Yeah.
And like because you're doing it so fast, and people in your house
exactly.
might ask you, why are you doing that a certain amount of times? And you may want to say, you may feel uncomfortable to speak about it. Because I may just like I think it's important what a person would response is. Like if you're feeling down, if there's something that like a theory or something like that, it may make your anxiety worse. And that's why you got to be careful. Well, people have to be understanding what it's like for a person with anxiety and how they're feeling, because like if the words "don't worry about it," it's very important not to say that to a person that has anxiety, because they're just gonna probably worry about something more, and they may feel like if someone says "don't worry about it," it's just something easy to forget about, which is not.
It's basically like telling someone. It's like almost telling someone to whatever they're actually worrying about isn't big enough to actually worry about. So it kind of diminishes their emotions and their worries while telling them sweeping it under the rug, which obviously doesn't work. So
because it may not, in their mind they may think it's not a big thing because it's not happening to them, but in your mind it will be.
Right.
And in your mind you think that they might not understand, but I think you'll find out who are good people to go to talk to that will understand and what's happening. Like if you have anxiety, I suppose it will probably be like for you. Like I know you said that you like from doing the auditions and the film you did, that I suppose talking to people in that environment will be probably good. I don't know what they're like, but as you said, they're quite nice. So if you, or even like the helper, that like you said you had a helper, talking to her or like while you was there might have been really helpful for you, because like she would probably understand and would get a lot of people who she's helped and understand. And it's just knowing the right people to go to, because if you go to a wrong person, even if they don't understand, it's kind of a big thing.
Yeah, exactly. The biggest, and you mentioned something that was quite big, that because it's not happening to other people, the person that it's not happening to might think that it's not actually that serious, but they don't have the mindset or they don't have the same mind or emotions or feelings or morals that another person would have. So to them, it really, they in their mind have the chance to criticize the other person and their emotions. When and I know that's happened to me a lot, especially when I was in school, that a lot of I think that you can rather, how I would rather react to it, you can rather do it in two ways. You can rather tell the person to F off, which is basically a term for short-term pleasure, in my opinion, or you can educate them in the long run.
Yeah.
And even if they don't want to listen, at least and even if they don't get it that day, they get it another point, or they don't get it at all. I think the biggest thing that you need to know as a person who is, let's say, struggling with any issue that another person doesn't get, I think the biggest thing is to hold yourself in a way that you know that somebody else's opinion is going to be hurtful if you care about that. But apart from that, it's sorry, I'm I'm going a bit blank. But
No, don't worry. I've gone through a similar thing, people don't understand sometimes when before I joined a special school, as they say, with people that do understand them but more. Even though at school I did get most of the teachers autism training because of
yeah.
I don't know if you know about that yet, but I did. I got all the teachers, the majority of them, autism training because there was an incident where after art I got told to go to lunch, and there's two terms at the time. I didn't understand this, but there was two terms: go for lunch, meaning go out and play, and then go for lunch, wait till you going in. So I went for lunch, and I'm in that. I said you can go to lunch. So I'm eating my lunch in the hall, and as you know, in school there were particular times where people went, and
Right.
some staff took it the wrong way, think I'm just sitting there just because I want to. And there's obviously with my form tutor, there was a teacher with the deputy head, because the head teacher wasn't in, I don't think, but the deputy head was there, my teacher, and one of the staff that didn't really understand, and I felt kind of accused me. So there was autism training there, and which was pretty good, I'd say. That was one of the incidents where I was misunderstood and at mainstream, because I was at mainstream for a year, and there was incidents there where because I would do things because of my autism, I would do things I'm doing, like other people will think I'm doing all right because I'm not asked for help. I probably don't look autistic, even though we don't know what that means, but to a person who has no idea what autism is, they would think that. That people come up with that stuff where deep down, what does it look like? But I was got given work was too hard for me. I was very happy when I left though. Helping,
I'm sure you were.
yeah, but helping with ties, they didn't want to do that. They said, and that's why they come to stage where I was running out. And there was not very nice stuff, but it was just a misunderstanding. My mental health was probably bad. That was probably the worst, one of the worst. It was like mainstream. It was because not understanding, having to get a EHCP just to get into a special school, because it is very hard. to do that, and fighting a lot as well. But yeah, my mental health was quite bad then at mainstream, especially when they do a timer for you to get changed in PE. That was one of them, and getting and one incident actually, Jack, was after lunch. It was kind of a special class, as they say, like they have people with different things, like autism and stuff, like me. And after the teacher said go to the library, and I went with a couple of people, slept 15 minutes, and then thought, why is no one else here? Because the library's locked, we have to wait outside. And I came back saying, the teacher said, where have you been? I said, I've worked at the library as you asked, after lunch. And then she said, no, I didn't. And then I thought to myself, I'm sure you did. And of course, there's been some confusion. I wouldn't have done that on purpose. And then she says, you got a detention. And then I wasn't happy at that point. And I went, the following day, the head of year wasn't very nice about it. He said, why were you all late? And I said, well, there's obviously been some confusion here. I went what I thought I was getting told to go to the library. And then the teacher said, I'll let you off this time. And then in my head, I wasn't confident at this point in my life. I was really not. I was all doom and gloom, really. But I could have said something like, why I don't know why you let me off when I did something I thought I was supposed to do, but I didn't. I just thought that in my head at the time, and I just went in, and I wasn't happy really. But there you go, and that was another like mental health struggle, which the teachers did not understand, which made it worse.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I'm very sorry. Yeah, I didn't have the misfortune of going to mainstream school. The most mainstream thing that I was in was preschool. But yeah, I've had incidents, not huge and not recent, but there was like, for example, a time in school where I think it was in year 4. This was like the really old, where our school. I'm not sure if you attended that early on, but we used to have Shed City. That's what they
Oh yeah, I think I might have been. I think it was like the one at Alden and Blackthorn I went to. The first one. Yeah. I went there, and then we transferred over to the new one. So I was there for about quite a few months, and then it transferred over.
Yeah. Well, this was like years ago. This was like ages. But yeah, the only biggest thing where I can compare to what you said was it was like I was in a class, and like they wanted us to tie like knots, something to do with like Boys Scouts or something like that. And I literally couldn't tie a knot. I couldn't even tie my own shoelaces. And one of the teachers was looking right down at me, and she was like, oh, why can't you do it like so and so? Why are you not doing it like so and so? And she seemed to be like really misunderstanding about the fact that I had fine motor skill issues and I literally couldn't really tie knots properly. In fact, I didn't learn how to tie my shoelaces until a week before I turned 18. So, but it's still an achievement. Yeah. Yeah, that was just one incident. I'm sure there was many more. And but yeah, I think the biggest thing that we need for any person in a workplace or a teacher, like especially a teacher, because you're helping guiding an educational path to children, and you need to make them feel safe and wanted in an environment where obviously I know most classes are like one teacher to 20 odd children, but the thing is that I think safeguarding and mental health and physical health and the upkeeping of that is of utmost importance. And not also that, I think uh, I think it would be absolutely lovely if, especially, teachers could automatically go through diversity training and be made aware, even if it's just one class, being made aware of everything, different religions, different disabilities, identities, sexual orientations, the whole lot. I think that would be beneficial, because not also are you now understanding a smidge of what another person might go through, but I think that another thing about it is you also get to learn, especially if you're a teacher, because if you're teaching other children, I think that you have to have the capacity to learn yourself still as an adult if you're going to educate. And if you're not going to educate yourself, then why do you think you're doing a good job educating other children?
Yeah.
If you're unable to learn.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I had an incident which I laugh about now. I did a little bit at the time because I didn't get my hand around it. Because in drama, when I was at mainstream, the evil ties at the school where I was at, and I struggled to put it on. And of course, I asked the drama teacher at the end, "Can you help me put this on?" And he said, "Can't you do it yourself?" And then I thought, I wouldn't be asking you if I couldn't do it.
Exactly.
And he did it a few times, then we got annoyed about doing it. He said, "I don't know, I don't know how to do it." And then and I thought to myself, he's just lying. Because he's done it before. And then I did think at one point he maybe doesn't know how to do it, because he said to me once, "I don't know how to do it." But yeah, it was those little things, and that what made probably my mental health quite bad and my anxiety, because I got to the limit where I would just not wear one. At the end of the day, the lessons would be at the end sometimes, like PE. I would not wear one, and then the teacher at the gate would say, "Why not you put it on?" And then they would just say, "I'll watch you put it on." Like they know that I can't do it and try and make me look like an idiot. So I'll just run to the car, I would, and then I'll go home. But yeah, I did make probably a friend or so, but I was more focused about my education at that point. That teachers not understanding than making friends at mainstream, and I had more time to do that when I was at like the special school. As we know, which I did, I had more time because the teachers are a lot more understanding there than mainstream, and which I would love to change. Which it'd be nice not to like an environment where autistic people and just people in general to all get on, and everyone's understanding. But that's just a dream world. It's not. It'd be nice if that was possible. Like mainstream could be the same experience as it would be like a special school, which unfortunately people do stay in mainstream the whole entire time. Some people who are autistic, because everyone's different, they have a better time than others. But I suppose it depends what kind of school it is, what it's like, what the staff are. But yeah, my experience will be different to someone else. But yeah, year 8, January time, I did join. So I was happy about that, and mental health was better, like confidence as well. Confidence is big on anything, I think, especially like with acting as well, like want to know the lines and stuff.
Awesome. Yeah, I was lucky because I basically escaped the horrors of mainstream. That's how I call it. Yeah, it was unfortunate. My siblings also, they went to the same school, and they also hated that school. And that one was in Brighton, which is where I used to live for a long time. It's astounding to me the fact that you're actually willing to make a child or a teenager look foolish because you've got such a fragile ego. It's just, absolutely hilarious. It's not hilarious, but you know what I mean. It's just so stupid and pathetic. That's absolutely funny.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna digress a little bit. When I went to I went to the meeting with my mum and the headmaster for me to get into the school originally, and I must have been about 3 or 4 years old when I went into his office, and he took one look at me. This is why this is probably one of the most understanding men that I've ever met in my life. He's an absolutely brilliant man, our headmaster. Love him to bits. He just took one look at me. This was before all the autism awareness was really a thing as well. This was in the mid 2000s. And he took one look at me and he said he needs to be with us. And then that continues an 11-year journey with the school, and then another 2 years with the college. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so grateful that I didn't have loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of horror stories from different schools and disagreeing with other people, and or having other people acting completely horrible. I'm sorry you went through that. I think, well, I think the best way isn't actually to say, I'm sorry you went through that. I think it is to take sort of action so people are actually made aware of the fact that these issues do exist, and just to be made aware, I think, is a good learning experience for everyone in a workplace, especially for somebody who works with children.
Yeah. It is annoying. I remember I went work experience to a meat factory, and no one knew what autism was, so I had to educate them and stuff. So I was pretty shocked about that.
We all knew the talk. Yeah, we all know the talk. And you know, mainstream people asking us because no one taught them, and they can be also ignorant. Yeah, I get that talk. It's like I can imagine that's yeah, I can just imagine because I've been through it.
Yeah, it's I suppose you have to repeat yourself quite a lot when you're explaining things, but if it sometimes it will get into someone's head, sometimes it won't. It's just supposed on the person you're talking to.
Yeah.
So Jack, what last few things? I just want to talk about like your goals, like with acting. What are your goals? Do you think for the future?
Well, immediate future. So within the next few weeks, I would like to be, excuse me, in student films, and that is because student films, although they're not big and they're usually not paid, it's like building up your CV. It's almost like work experience for actors. So it builds up like what we call a resume. Most people call it a CV, but we call it a resume. A very expensive one at that. And basically we we have all these credits, television, film, media, all that, and it's just a way to build up your credits until you get noticed maybe by an agent, or your credits are good enough so that someone might notice you and say, hey, there's this thing that I want you to specifically audition for, here's the script. And but my actual goals, first to get into student films, my acting, I've got stage lessons actually tomorrow night. That's where I begin my debut on the stage. But in, like, let's say 10 years from now, I definitely still want to be in the business. I would also like to be a singer. I would, which is why I'm also taking lessons for that. Because I want to build that sort of skill up from the foundation, and I'd love to do that. And And life goals, I would say that I know it's a bit like traditional, but to be honest, I do want to find a partner.
Mm.
Those are my life goals, and to move out of the place that where I'm at and start a life with him, and
Yeah.
and continue my life with my career and whatever else pops up in the future. But I'm open-minded to the point where if I know offer for me, if I know that there's a better opportunity for me, I'm going to take that opportunity because I haven't had all my life written down, exactly pinpointed and planned to the point where I can say, actually, I can change my path. And I think that's a good thing to have that sort of open mindedness. But those are the goals I can think about so far.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Some great goals there. Like you have, like as you say, you want to be a singer. The goals of when you're doing it, like what was like student films, like to build a CV up. That's great as well because a good CV means like a really good one or a CV at all is it's good to put all these things that you've done on them. It's brilliant. And then like as you say, like getting a partner as well, which is I suppose it's something that everyone thinks about. Like but yeah, it's very good. Like those goals and stuff. Is there like a particular like as is there a particular show like now like on telly or example that you would like to appear on in like the future?
Well, I know appearing on RuPaul's Drag Race is not going to happen for a very, very long time,
No,
if they do accept me. But
not right now. Probably.
apart from no, well, I'd be fabulous for it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, not yet. I don't think I'm well known to be a guest judge. But apart from that, I just started watching Responder, which is on BBC iPlayer. Also, I'm particularly interested in the Golden Girls, which is a TV series about four middle-aged women who live together in America, and they have vibrant lives, and they're absolutely hilarious. But it's very old, so I'm surprised if most people heard it.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the moment, that is basically those TV shows that I look.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, it sounds great. Like you've got like it's important to have goals, which once you accomplish them, they can change. That's a good thing about them. Like yeah, it's very very good goals there, Jack. Like hopefully you get them and take. It doesn't have to be fast, but I suppose like as fast as you want them to be, which would be good for you. Is there anything else that you want to say? Like just to like finish like up.
Well, yeah, actually, I would say to everyone, thank you very much for listening to both of us. Please, please, please support and like and share this podcast and any other future podcasts that Mason does. He's an incredible advocate for what he's doing and certainly deserves everything that's coming his way. Also remember, the film is called I Used to Be Famous. If you want more information on that, you can look it up. There's information on some of the lead cast members. And yeah, please update your Netflix subscription so you can see me. But yeah, to Mason, I wish you all the best. And I would say to everyone, please keep watching his podcasts. Please, please do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you, Jack. And nearer to the time, we'll share and like let you know when the film is ended on Netflix and can all watch it because I know I'll watch it as well. because
Better.
Jack's not allowed to give anything away about the film, but like it's great like teaser for everyone, because I suppose it's very hard for actors, for example, Jack, if you were going to be the next Doctor, that you have to be very quiet until the actual announcement. So it's very thing about acting is that you have to, if you're told to be quiet, you have to be quiet. But it's nice to hear that you're going to be in this film, Jack. And I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, I hope you will. I hope everyone does.
Yeah.
So,
thank you again, Jack, and it's been really nice speaking to you.
You too. Absolutely wonderful. I thank you very much for letting me be on it.